and yet the wicket is low, so it might suit the Pakistani bowlers.
Well, let's get straight now up to Jeffrey Boycott, and I will join him in a moment.
Wasim Akram opening the bowling. Very important here for Pakistan that they get off to a good start. We have already seen in certainly 2 of the one-day internationals, Wasim Akram, he's been trying too hard, which is always difficult to tell somebody not to try as hard, and has sprayed the ball around a little bit early in the innings. And West Indies have got off to a flying start. Brian Lara is the key batsman for the West Indies. I think by now everybody who's been watching our telecast realises that Brian Lara is in top form. He's not only in top form, he's the top West Indies batsman. Well, you saw there one of those low balls. What I mentioned on the pitch report, the inconsistency of bounce which troubles all the batsmen. See, that would have hit him about kneecap high, and then we saw a couple of 3 balls from Kirtley Ambrose that took off, and 1 or 2 balls that were pitched and lollipop bounce came very slowly. There you are, what a delivery. He's gone straight through the slips, and 4 very lucky runs to Brian Lara. Well, Inzamam dropped him in the first over in Trinidad. Here it is again, it nicks. Oh my goodness me. Butterfingers in the slips. You cannot keep dropping the best batsman, the man in form, the key player for the West Indies, and hope to win the games. Went quickly. Not the easiest of chances, but you've got to get those. If you're a slip fielder, you must take them.
Thank you, Jeffrey, for keeping my seat warm. Yes, it's those sort of catches that really do win matches, and yet again Lara has escaped. Of course, he was dropped the second ball on Friday's game for Spain. It was Inzamam ul Haq, and it was a dolly. But let's look at this one again.
It went between the 2 of them, really.
What a good first over. 4 for no wicket. Wasim Akram's second over, down the leg side. Not wide enough for umpire Lloyd Barker to call a wide. So the score remains on 11 for no wicket.
We can show you a good shot here about that plateau pitch. Look at the wicketkeeper. As he walks away, you're seeing less and less of his boots. You know, it's only seen halfway up his pads. That's because of the table. Very deceptive.
Well, wasn't in any doubt about what to do. I suppose with this plateau that you've been talking about, the best thing for them to do is find some more earth and try and make the build-up.
Build it past where the delivery point for the bowlers. It wants to come 5, 6, 7 yards. So instead of having a pitch of 22 yards that's plateaued high, it wants to go a pitch of 30, 32 yards. So there's at least a good 5 or 6 yards past the wickets at either end. So the bowlers are delivering on a level part, not an uphill. Well, that's a shot from the camera level, and you can't see the advertising board. It shows how it drops away.
Of course, you run up a little bit of a hill at Headingley, don't you, where you played so much your cricket, but nothing like this, obviously.
Well, it's a gradual hill. Bowlers don't mind going gradually uphill, on the same level, just slowly getting uphill or slowly downhill. They can accommodate that, but when it suddenly just jumps up at you.
The end of the third over. 11 for no wicket experience that makes him such a valuable player.
Yes, you see he's got the orthodox straightish wide mid-on.
No ball. And of course, a few more of those just will help to loosen the pressures the West Indies are under.
And then he's got a man behind square saving one as well on the onside. Fairly orthodox here. Got 3 in a circle on the offside.
Doesn't that make a perfect picture? The island of Bequia in the background, Bequia. We went out there yesterday, and it really was so lovely. What a good ball. But I think that again is Haynes, the old trickster, playing deliberately inside the line.
Just plays for his stumps, does Desmond. Plays for if the ball comes back. If it goes straight on, he's not that worried if he misses it. Wasim will say Desmond played and missed it. Desmond would say, well, I didn't really play at it.
It's not really the sort of pitch for Brian Lara, is it, Jeffrey?
No, I was just thinking these two batsmen got off to 13 for none, but they could have been about 4 for 2.
There again, Haynes, I think, is foxing them, playing just inside the line.
Beautiful line by Wasim Akram. He's pitching on the length, on the stumps, and then by the time he gets to the batsman, it's wide of off stump, making Desmond play at it.
The end of the over, 1 run from it, 13 for no wicket. Who's really coming in for the first time in this one-day series with the West Indies at crisis point.
Yes, and what that ball to Desmond Haynes will do to the West Indies dressing room, it'll make them very wary about playing back. And most West Indian batsmen are very good players off the back foot as well as front foot. Richie Richardson in particular, he's a great cutter and puller of the ball.
Well, the battle really is joined now.
What a ball to receive. First ball up, that bounces and goes through. Desmond Haynes has kept low. Look at that, look where the keeper takes that. Fingers turned up towards the sky, that's a bounce. The unpredictable, awkward bounce.
Wasim again to Richardson. I think, Jeffrey, too, going back to that delivery of Haynes, one's got to pay a little bit of credit, too, to Wasim. He did actually bring it back a fraction into the right-hander, didn't he? It just followed Haynes a little. Although it kept low, it didn't hold its angle, otherwise it would have gone past off stump.
You get him more like Fred Truman every day. He never bowled a straight ball in his life. Another one that took off. That's 2 that took off. And I think that's going to be the answer to who wins this match, is whether these unpredictable balls that keep low or bounce actually get wickets, because they get enough wickets before the batsman manage to sneak a few runs here and there.
Oh, my goodness me. That so nearly got through. Richardson on the back foot, keeping low.
Look at this one. Play back at your peril. That's a goes under the ball. Goes under the kneecap. Goes under the stumps.
The end of a remarkable over, 14. Wasim Akram to Phil Simmons. No ball called, and the Pakistani bowlers will want to watch that they don't allow the score to build up too far with these extras.
Yes, well, Henry, you're absolutely right, because every run is important. The total of 186 is not that much. Two batsmen get in, it's quite gettable, and so therefore they must avoid extras.
It's another good ball. It is, Imran, the first time in this competition that Pakistan have been in this situation, bowling when things are going their way. They've taken a couple of early wickets and are really on top. So this is going to give Waqar and Wasim really their best chance.
Henry, this is the sort of wicket which the Pakistani players are used to. This is very much a Pakistani wicket rather than a West Indian wicket.
It's a confident appeal, hit him low down. I suppose the fact that Simmons was playing forward may have saved him.
I'd like to have another look at it. I thought it kept very low. It pitched on, held up. Maybe it didn't pitch in the line of the stumps, but it certainly was very close.
Just pitched outside, perhaps, the leg stump. I think he'd have hit. Well, it's certainly full of tension, this cricket. It's a perfect game, and it is interesting how sometimes the lower scoring one-day matches produce the more interesting, fascinating cricket. The big games where 550, so 600 runs are scored, although, of course, last Saturday was an exception, but often they're not quite as exciting as this. It was in the air.
Well, Henry, as you can see, the West Indians batsmen are struggling on this wicket because the ball is not bouncing. Watch, I mean, he's trying to drive the ball. It's keeping low. It's not coming on. It's not the sort of wicket someone like Simmons or Richie Richardson would like to play, or even Brian Lara, because they want the ball to come on to the bat. And on a wicket where the ball is not coming on, where it's keeping low, skidding, as it is on the surface and on most of Pakistani wickets, it's very difficult for natural stroke players, as the West Indians are, to play their shots. And this is where Pakistan's biggest advantage lies, because they're used to bowling on such wickets.
The end of another extremely good over, 17 for 2.
1 for 6 in his initial spell, and he now comes back and will bowl to Adams. 10 overs remaining, and off those 10, the West Indies have to get 64. Wasim Akram starting with the no ball, so the West Indies will be grateful for that.
Isn't it nice when you're in a tight position like Pakistan, desperate to win, to square the series, you can call on two great fast bowlers, Waqar Younis, when you then give him a rest, you've got the captain, Wasim Akram. It's like West Indies with Curtly Ambrose or Ian Bishop firing. It does make an awfully big difference. It's not too often people whack around the great fast bowlers on a very, very flat, good batting pitch, fast outfield. You might just have a good day now and again, but on the whole, you'd like to whistle up the fast bowler to bowl a few overs. Well, that's certainly worth a shout, but Ian Bishop got forward. He has big, long legs. But see the angle. Probably he didn't think it came back enough, but you can see there, that's definitely a good shout. I think this is a difficult pitch to score on. I know as a former batsman I wouldn't like to have had to try and whack Wasim Akram around or Waqar Younis on this pitch. I think it's very difficult. I played here in '81. He kept even lower than this and trying to play Holding, Garner, Croft was a torrid time.
In the air and a catch for Javed Miandad. So Adams goes trying to hit over the top as he had to, and a comfortable catch to Javed Miandad. So Jimmy Adams goes for 27. Really not his go, the big hitting, but he tried in the end, and a comfortable catch.
Well, it's just pure frustration, irritation, in the end desperation, and he hit it to the most experienced player in the Pakistan team. They've squeezed West Indies of Pakistan, squeezed them and squeezed them on this pitch until finally the last nails are going in the coffin, they're cracking under the pressure.
So Adams goes for 27, top score, but he took a long time over it. Came in when the situation was difficult. It never got any easier while he was there, and in the end offering a catch to long off. So 125 for 8 now, just the fast bowlers remaining, and Pakistan, as they have done from the start of this West Indies innings, have things in their control. Batsman cross while the ball was in the air. New batsman is Curtly Ambrose, but it will be Ian Bishop who will face. Jimmy Adams going then, and really not the type of batsman who goes for big hitting. Michael Holding is back.
I think, as Jeffrey Boycott said, just frustration setting in. Both batsmen finding it very difficult to score. And the Pakistani fielding certainly has looked a lot better here today than they did in Trinidad and Tobago. Really getting behind their bowlers and supporting them, except for that quite simple catch that was dropped in the very first over again, of course.
So Wasim Akram continues to apply the pressure. He brought back Waqar Younis, he got a wicket, and now he himself has come back. He's got one. It's been rather a muted crowd as Pakistan have taken control of this match. I wouldn't say the West Indies have exactly gone to the dogs yet, but certainly they have a long, long way to go.
Playing a few aggressive strokes there. He has to try and score.
Pakistan beaten very comfortably in the first two matches, so they really have shown tremendous spirit to come back into the series as they've done. And that's the end of Ambrose. Well bowled by Wasim Akram. Ambrose giving himself room. Akram seeing him backing away to the leg side and giving him the perfect delivery. So scattering the stumps. 9 down now, the West Indies. 134 for 9.
Very good delivery, that. An in-swinging Yorker. Curtly Ambrose looking to give himself room, hit it over the top. But Wasim Akram saw him going away, and that was the end result. Very, very well bowled. West Indies really in trouble at this stage. 134 for 9.
So there are 9 wickets down, and Courtney Walsh comes out to join Ian Bishop. And the West Indies, with just the last pair together now, and large sections of the crowd reckon that that's about it. They don't want to be here to see when the final nail is driven into the coffin and it's lowered into the ground. It's been a disappointing day for them. And they're heading off now to their various venues, and I'm sure a lot of them as well are heading off to the nearby bars which have been set up around the Arnesville ground here, either for celebrations after the game, and I'm sure they expected celebrations after it. Well, this evening perhaps it will be just drown in sorrows, because here's the last man. Teams go on to Georgetown, Guyana for the final match in the series on Saturday from here. And the crowd just streaming out of the ground. There's only one road leading to and from this ground, so there'll be a great deal of congestion. Wasim Akram bowling down the leg side, 4 wides. West Indies need some more of this generosity if they're to come close and at least cause some anxious moments to the Pakistanis. But right now, Pakistan well in control. Wasim Akram has handled things very well, the recently appointed Pakistan captain, and certainly Pakistan Wasim Akram, he has 3 more overs. Waqar Younis has 3, so these two great fast bowlers will bowl the innings out if necessary to the final 50 overs. May not be even necessary for those. Well, just an adjustment on that. Waqar Younis in fact has only got 2 remaining, but in fact if the West Indies do carry through until that last 50th over, things might be very tight at that stage.
Courtney Walsh getting very ambitious at this stage, and Ian Bishop rightly having a conference. And I think the message is, Courtney, let me do the scoring, or the big hitting that is, and you, if anything, just push for the singles.
To which Walsh would have replied what?
Okay, Bish, and still have a go.
That's it, the end of the innings. Pakistan have won, they level the series. Walsh out, leg before wicket to Wasim Akram. Pakistan win the match by 39 runs, 38 runs, by 38 runs, and level the series, a series in which they were 2-0 down going into the 3rd match in Trinidad on Saturday. So they've won 2 in a row, and the teams will go to Georgetown, Guyana, and here's how the innings ended.